Life is dangerous. Pollution, alcohol, cigarette smoke, sunlight, and even oxygen constantly challenge the health of every cell in our body. And the most dangerous part of life is aging, since it affects everybody and is irreversible. As diverse as these dangers may seem to us, for an individual cell, a skin cell in particular, it all boils down to a build-up of a few distinct types of molecules. Let's take a look at what this means and how it is dealt with. Here's the cell membrane, the cytoplasm, the nucleus, and a chromosome. Aging and exposure to the environment always leads to the production of unwanted molecules, oxidants, and other reactive chemical species. These molecules cause uncontrolled chemical reactions. To put it simply, they are toxic. To survive, the cell produces antioxidants and detoxifying enzymes. And just like with all other phenomena that depend on the environment, this production is regulated. More or less toxins leads to more or less detoxifiers. This regulation operates primarily at the level of transcription, the first step of gene expression, that consists in copying DNA sequences of target genes into RNA. RNA polymerase is the enzyme in charge of this, but it will only work in the presence of specific activators called transcription factors. And for genes involved in detoxification, the transcription factor is called NRF2. NRF2 has two possible destinies. It can bind and activate RNA polymerase, or it can bind an inhibitor called KEAP1, creating a complex that is degraded as part of normal cellular recycling. Cellular damage occurs when the amount of toxins exceeds the capacity of detoxifying enzymes to neutralize them. Well, there's one way to boost this capacity: to prevent KEAP1 from binding NRF2. And this is what PerfectionPeptide P7 has been designed to do. The binding between NRF2 and KEAP1 is mediated on the NRF2 side by this 7 amino acid sequence. And like almost all interactions between proteins, it is a dynamic equilibrium between bound and unbound states. And you probably have already guessed that PerfectionPeptide P7 contains the same 7 amino acids. It is a mini protein that mimics a key portion of NRF2. So what happens when PerfectionPeptide P7 is applied to the skin? Well, because it is fairly small, it has no trouble traveling through the skin layers and entering cells. And once inside the cytoplasm, it can bind KEAP1, leaving NRF2 free to activate gene expression. Of course, this is a dynamic process, and PerfectionPeptide P7 is acting as a competitive inhibitor of KEAP1. The net result, confirmed by state-of-the-art laboratory investigations on skin explants and placebo-controlled clinical studies, is an increase in the production of detoxifying enzymes and antioxidants, an enhanced resistance to reactive chemical species, and healthier and more beautiful skin. PerfectionPeptide P7 is an example of cosmetic biochemistry at its best. Mibel biochemistry.